Folks, we are live. Welcome to Gamers Health, the weekly live stream where we talk about things that affect the health of gamers mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually sometimes.
Mm.
I am Rach Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. On my screen, far right, but at my left here. I don't know. In
How
any
you
case,
doing? I'm Rachel.
hey, it's my lovely wife, Rach, and in between us, the angel of the moment. Only the moment, because sometimes she can be a devil. It's our niece.
Angelness is short-lived
And
sometimes.
our niece, Shannon. Also known as Tenkara in other areas.
Circles, yeah.
Oh, jeez. There goes that global buffet coming back. Okay. TXG, welcome. Thank you. So, we figured we would talk today, aside from other topics that I'm sure will come up. We're going to be going over things such as dealing with change and other unexpected, what did I say? Uncertainty and change. I didn't even know what I wrote down. In your life, we're seeing this right now in the gaming community with the open game license. It is daily. It's not even like you can accept how bad it is or what parts are good ish. And every day is a changing thing. So Shannon is staying with us tonight, and we figured of somebody who's had to deal with change, at least when it comes to her scholastic environment. I figured we would bring our local expert on to talk. She's rolling her eyes at me. She's such an emotive. So, but before we delve into those matters, Rachel and I always talk about the what we're doing when it comes to our health or those basic updates. But figure we'll get some of that out of the way. Rach, anything that you want to discuss? Any new exercises that you have added into your repertoire?
Yeah, actually, I've added some exercises to address for strengthening the smaller gluteal muscles, the gluteus minimus, and the oh my god,
Medius.
medius and minimus.
I only know because she started throwing this word around as we were driving earlier today. I'm
because these are like stabilizers, like for your hips and for like certain standing poses in yoga. So I needed to work on those because they are weak. We have been weak, and they're just gaining strength now. So this way I can hold one-legged poses for longer.
By the way, Shannon, Tammy says hi.
Tammy,
Shannon, Shana na na, Shana na na, hey.
Hello.
So, now with me, I've noticed that my blood sugar is greatly affected by if I'm fighting off something, if I'm fighting off a cold, if I have allergies, my blood sugar numbers go up. And when I am not having allergies or colds or other issues, my blood sugar numbers can be pretty much in the range of what a non-diabetic would be. I'm a type 2 diabetic. I've also noticed that the Mounjaro, that still sounds like the name of like a movie.
It does.
Like Jumanji. I'm watching Mounjaro starring Tom Hanks and the cast from Leave It to Beaver. But the thing with Mounjaro, besides the fact that it does an amazing job on my blood sugar, I am noticing a trend that it has increased my sedentary, and that's not quite resting, not like sleeping pulse rate, but my sitting on my fat butt pulse rate by about 4 or 5 points on average. But it's not changing my pulse rate for when I'm exercising. It's just it's increased my baseline a little bit, but it hasn't done anything like my max when I'm like taking a walk or doing exercise.
Right.
It's about the
You'll
same.
tell
I'm told my
the the
cardiologist,
cardiologist on Tuesday when you go see.
Yeah.
Just
So-
to be sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up, but it's it might need an increase of one of my medications, but Monjaro is also protects the heart. It's just multiple layers of things to do so. So other than that, as Rach can tell, we know that my shoulder, the one that should be the biggest problem, is not the biggest problem.
Yeah, go figure.
the one that shouldn't be the problem is the one that is kind of locking up. So we're working on that.
Yeah, we do the massage every night, but we got to get you doing more stretches with the TRX and more of the cars. Even if it's just like you stay with me for the shoulder cars, and then like if you don't feel like working on your hips, you can bounce.
Well, and now here's the other thing too. Now, like I find, for the most part, I can actually sleep on my right side, but my hip tends to start getting.
So maybe you do need.
So maybe
I
do need the hip cars because I'm hip.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I have found like last night we ordered from a local pizza chain, Singers. They make those like 10-inch pies. I find again I cannot eat as much in one sitting as I could before the Monjaro. I've got less heartburn with it, by the way, because I've finally learned to start spreading my meals out, eating them over a longer period of time, taking a break. You got to adjust to all this stuff. But like last night, we shared half of a serving of lasagna and half of a large macaroni and cheese that we bought at another, I believe it's a local chain.
Chitty's.
It's a
cheesesteak place. Yeah.
Amazing cheesesteaks. Really good. We tried their mac and cheese.
The bag does say franchise opportunities available, so they might have it in other parts of the country.
They might. But I was very surprised that I could have all that carb. And although I started low, I started at about a 70 in my blood sugar. And for people who don't have blood sugar issues, this all means nothing to you. But 70 is about as low as you generally want to go, because if you get below that, then you're looking at the danger zone around 50. I didn't get beyond 150. I stayed within the green zone with high carb food. So makes me feel really good, really excited. But I need to again, it's the winter time. Shannon came over today. And was one of the first things she wanted to do?
I don't know, not wear a coat.
You worked out?
No.
Well, you got up there on the treadmill.
You wanted to hop on the treadmill. Yeah.
Yeah, you did pretty good on that. TXG. My doctor wanted me to quit smoking. I haven't had a cigarette in 8 months, been vaping, which he doesn't have a problem with. He also wanted me to quit drinking like I was still in my 20s. And that's the thing, folks. That's a good point. We are not in our 20s. Okay, most likely, if you are watching this live stream or you're watching this as a recording later, I'm going to guess that you are in my demographics. That you're in your
what old people?
You're in your 40s or greater. Listen. When I was in my 20s and early 30s, like when I was my initial 5 or 6 years as a cop, there was a lot of late nights involved. There were nights where you literally had an hour. Oh, I got to the bar at 2:30, closes at 4. How much can I get in before I leave at 4 o'clock?
Or looking for afters, and that's
I mean
a whole other problem.
So learning to pace yourself, learning what your limits need to be, not just what there are some hard limits. You got to find them, and you got to fit to them. I'm not going to be the person that's going to come out here and say you shouldn't drink, because that would be I'd be full of shit.
Yeah, I need to change what I drink on my Tuesdays when I do drink.
Well, listen, that seltzer is really nice.
Yeah, the seltzer is really nice, but I think it's very sugary, and that's not a good thing, because like for my triglycerides, like the sugar, like because alcohol is such empty calories, and especially when it is sugar, like, like alcohol is all empty calories. And then when you factor in that it has sugar in it, more than because it's more because it's cider. That's not a good thing. So maybe I should drink what you're drinking, Eric. And I won't really, I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it to a degree, but not to the degree of like, yeah, sure, I'll have another. Where it's like easier to temper.
Well, I've been drinking pints of Hofbrau,
and I've enjoyed
It's a lighter lager. It's got less calories than a full lager, less carbs, and it's got full taste, and it's a full bodied beer. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe I should just go back to the Diet Cokes that I was.
Oh, don't be. They'll throw you out. It's not the old par. TXG, the one thing helped us trying to walk 10,000 steps a day when possible.
Yeah, that's always great.
I'm looking forward to. Listen, we had a warm day last week. We were able to take a nice long walk at our local park. The dog loved it. We loved it. And I love those days in the wintertime. We have a treadmill. I don't use it as much as I should. Rachel uses it pretty much as she should. I need to get on it more often. So I'm being painfully blunt and honest here about what I should be doing and what I'm not doing. So, but this week in the gaming community, the open game license, whether it's the revocation or the implementation of 1.1 or 2.0.
5207 Haskell Street, New York, New York.
Are you fucking serious?
Go bite me.
Shut up, Alexa. You're embarrassing everybody.
Alexa, go screw. Oh, she learned not to answer to that one. Look at that. But in any case, I mean, it's weird because it took me a number of years to really understand what gaslighting was. And then this past week has been multiple levels of gaslighting from Witches of the Coast. So, I am lucky. I consider myself blessed. Rach and I, we have my pension. It's secure. It isn't at risk. If the game,
no matter what,
no matter what. Climbing a mountain. That's funny. He's saying, order pizza. So yeah. Oh God, let's not let her do that. TXG, I have arthritis, so the walking initially was tough, but the walking has also started to help. Motion is lotion.
Yes.
And my right knee feels the weather. Oh my God, my right knee does feel the weather. So
yeah, you have to knee cars.
Yeah. Juana Vila. Greetings from Mexico.
All right.
Well,
good stuff.
One of our favorite YouTubers is currently in Mexico, so
yeah,
it's fun.
I love Mexico.
Yeah, I've never been to Mexico. Shannon, I'm sure, is dying to go to Mexico. Yes. She's probably going to make my son drag her down.
It's probably better when you're older. To be honest.
Oh yeah, Shannon, you can't go drinking when you're in Mexico. I'm just going to say that right now. Okay.
Wow.
Well, the fact that you're 12 is a good part of it.
Yeah.
I would say. But again, we are lucky.
You have to take some time to learn about how to drink properly, and then what you can and can't handle. Because if you learn there, you might be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Or not just trouble, but like medical trouble.
Yeah, you might put yourself in a situation you just don't need to be in.
Because where I went in Mexico, like in Cancun on the Riviera Maya. They had drinking down to science of how to, how to make it good with the slammers and, all
You're killing me with science. But in any case, this OGL
she
thing.
blinded me with science.
I know. Well, you're killing me in this case. Oh, you could go blind.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. This whole open game license, I'm going to call it the fiasco, is game changing in our community, and it's putting people in a position where they have to accept change that they weren't expecting, and it could be changing their business plan. It could be changing their income, and they might have to cut back on things. Maybe it's changing employment. Maybe we're working in the gaming industry, and now as things transition, you may have to do something different. So, as I stated earlier in the cast, we brought our local expert in for this conversation because Shannon graduated elementary school last school year, and that's huge because what does graduation mean? Well, it means change. You're going to go to another school, and sometimes that transition is not the easiest. And sometimes I would say that transition is not the easiest. It teaches you the most. So Shannon she took a leap of faith, and she was like, literally went from a public school to a parochial Catholic school. And I mean, Shannon, you got some good things out of it, and you got some out of it, right?
Yeah.
So now, what were the good things that you got out of that?
What did you learn from it?
A lot. All right, a lot of days off because of Catholic holidays. That's being a rules lawyer, okay, kid?
Yeah, maybe the question is, what did you learn from your experience?
Okay, yes.
Either about yourself or,
Rich people
the
suck.
world.
Oh, well, you know what? Okay, that is certainly, it's not a bad thing to observe that at your age, because you're right. Because what it is that people that have, or people that believe they have and have something that you don't have. What was the old Eddie Murphy joke about the ice cream?
Oh yeah. They get the ice cream from the ice cream truck, and there's one little boy that doesn't have the ice cream. He's
Right.
Like, oh.
Hey.
You can't afford it.
You can't afford it.
Because his father is an alcoholic. He can't. And then all the other little kids are. He can't afford it.
So that's what kids are like.
Yes.
By the way,
that's just the nature of kids.
But when you're going to a school, you got to pay for that stratosphere, or that's not the stratosphere, but that layering that goes on of different social environments and classes.
Right.
It kind of can get it if the school itself doesn't take a priority in getting it under control. It can really be an issue because when anybody perceives that they have more power, more authority, more influence, kind of like Wizards of the Coast just did to everybody. What can happen with absolute power, or any power? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So when you have somebody who is, let's say, less than fully moral, and you give them a lot of power, they are going to try to bully you with it. Wizards of the Coast is doing that to the gaming community right now, to third-party publishers. And, this is what kids can do to each other. Adults can do to each other. Don't get me wrong. It can happen in your work environment. It's not something that you can just say, oh, it ain't going to happen here. So, Shannon did the Catholic school, which was obviously, one, not free, and two, wasn't the best learning environment for Shannon. Now, for somebody else, maybe it is. Maybe if you're
somebody else might need that, because would you say that in the Catholic school, like there's not always a lot of stuff that slid, like that people like the administration or like the principal and whatever, like they're have a lot of control over the school and the students. No, they're more sneakier, maybe the kids.
They just don't care. They act like they care, but they don't do much about it.
Oh,
okay. Well, listen, like I went to public school my whole 12 years.
Too.
But my friend Kenny went to Catholic school, and Catholic high school is where the kids broke down a fence for trying to swarm into the school for some stupid reason. So it seemed to me that Catholic school kids need a lot more discipline than public school kids. I don't know.
That could be. Yeah, I heard the bullies are worse in Catholics.
Yeah. So yes, Gothridge Manor. Yes, Tim. I had to take a swat at Wizards of the Coast. They knew it was coming. The upper jab. you know.
And what's this one called that comes from the back?
Oh,
Because the jab is the one that comes.
jab. Well, here, let me just skip. Guan Avila. What Wizard Coast is doing is the worst. They ignore the agreement they made them big, and then shoot their own foot.
Too right.
Too right. So now, Shannon, you were instrumental in the decision to say, "Hey, you know what? Let's go back to the public school."
Let me try this. Yeah.
Now, if you had to choose all over again, where would you have chosen?
In public.
Now, I got a question for you. This is kind of a question for the community too, at large, because that's the decision that you're saying now after having experienced a semester of Catholic school, a half year of Catholic school. If you had never experienced Catholic school, would you appreciate what you have now?
Yeah.
You think you would have like the inside
Actually,
understanding?
probably not.
Probably not. You'd be like, "Oh man, this is crap," not knowing that there could be worse crap around the corner. And and folks, that's an aspect about life that we often forget, and we often kind of go, "Oh, if I could change one thing in my past, I would," and then yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? You are where you are because of every event in your life.
Right. So, like, as you relate that to dealing with like change and uncertainty in your life, it's always going to be a learning experience.
Yeah.
There's always something positive that's going to come because of it. Whether like it's that you get to realize, oh, well, I tried this and I realize I need to be in public school, or, we know what these gaming licenses are if we want to find a parallel.
Yeah.
But maybe we do need to see what it's like to have games that are out from under the Watsies.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing. Like in the gaming community right now, we are learning that even if they don't revoke 1.0,
they're gonna
the threat's going to be there,
mm-hmm.
right? So now, in a way, this is a cathartic process. This is
it's like maybe
a metamorphosis.
Maybe it's going to be empowering.
Yeah,
actually, to people that need that in the industry, or like the small guys, so that they can grow. Because it seems like if they sign that contract or whatever, or that license, whatever, then they're kind of like stuck. There's not a come up anywhere in that.
Right. So these are things that how you deal with where you are now. A lot of that is for your prior experiences, and how you deal with stuff in the future is going to be how you deal with your issues now. If you can get through this as a publisher, yes, it's going to be a rough stretch. Yes, no matter what Wizard of the Coast does in the end with 2 point whatever, after the gaslighting, after the revisionist history, after the lies, they've proven one thing: they can't be trusted. So now, even if they don't take away that license, almost every publisher has to move away from it, and that's not a bad thing. That's probably a good thing. And they've united the gaming publishing and gaming community. And I've said this before, I'll say this again. I cannot remember any period in since I started blogging and getting involved in gaming to the level that I am in the community, where I've had people from across the political spectrum, some people who I've said some unkind things about me in their walled gardens or in communities where they believe that I would not know. All right, because people tell you, hey, so and so is calling you. They said you were, and the reality is, when you have seismic events in your community, when you have events that are rattle your reality, people come together because those little issues become quite insignificant in comparison. So I'm looking at this as an event that is overall a positive.
Right. This is growth. And growth is painful. you know this.
Yeah.
When you grow, you have periods where you're extremely tired. You might have pain in your bones. You know, so when you grow, there's pain involved. But would you say, well, don't give me the pain and I don't want to grow?
Yeah.
We wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 17, I had a growth spurt. I still have the on my back. I still have the stretch marks from when I grew. I grew like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches in like 3 months, and then I stopped growing. So it was like, and it was pain. It was painful. But those stretch marks were to the touch for years. They were just painful to the touch. So, but in the end, it all worked out okay. One, related to your topic, Wizards of the Coast, while this must make something good, they also named the necessity to create a real open license. Orc. And that is true. But now, and folks, just so you're all clear on this, and I'm hoping I'm going to be. Orc is a great thing that this is happening, that there's going to be a license. But remember that Orc is just a license; it's not an SRD. Orc is used with
what
another.
What is the difference? Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, maybe people understand this, but
right. An SRD,
somebody who's not
Orc is a license, and by agreeing to it, you agree to the terms of the license.
And what is an SRD?
A system reference document or a system resource document. And this is where you're going to get like the terms from whatever game system that you're going to be referring to in your product. You're going to be getting them from an SRD. There's going to be more than one SRD. Black Flag is what Cobalt is working on for 5e.
So what trumps what?
Well,
or is it not even like that?
They work together. They are, and they interact. And you can have you really can't have one without the other.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
I think I get it.
So it works together. So honestly,
you first have to have the
you need
SRD
pretty much
to create the orc.
Right. Well, or the open license that's being known as Orc can be used with any company's SRD if they were willing to open it up under Orc. So in theory, I could put together a system reference document for old school gaming, and I could release it under Orc, or I could release it under Creative Commons. There are other ways to release this. So it's all got to feel its way out, and it's been pointed out to me, you don't need the Paizo Orc license to have an open license. You can sit down with your own attorney, and they can look at sample licenses and probably get one together for you in a couple of days. That is geared exactly to how you want it. I suspect we're going to see a lot of that going on. It should be interesting. Considering how long this relationship between Wizards of the Coast third-party publishers lasted, it's no surprise that initially people thought the draft was fake. Initially, when I was seeing pieces of it leaked and how it was written, I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. No lawyer writes like that. It's being written like, I want to be your friend. And no lawyer writes like that.
No.
But it was because what the draft was what accompanied the license. This was the layman's version of the license. This is the common man's version of the license. And it was real. And I still have the PDF copy of it. And there's nothing in there that is redeeming, frankly. Frank Avila, thanks for all the videos you've done on this. Frank, listen, my wife can tell you how busy have I been over the last week, Rach?
Oh, you're parked right here.
I'm parked at this desk. Or like last weekend, we were driving out to see Shannon. And as we're driving out, my phone rings. And we're having a conversation about the events in the industry. Mm-hmm. We're sitting down at Friendly's. I got Shannon next to me, and Shannon's like, Uncle! Remember what you said, Shannon?
No.
Put down that phone.
I did.
Yes.
Well, it was first you started to kind of like roll your eyes, like, Auntie, really? He's really doing this? I'm talking. and he didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get
And
it.
then you just said it,
Yeah, he's like,
which is good.
put down that phone. I'm like, and I'm in the middle of three different.
So you don't think you're rude?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of 3 different PMs on Facebook plus 1 on Discord because of the events that are going on, and these are people that are either updating me or people in the industry that are asking me questions. I have a responsibility. My responsibility is to my community. That's what it comes down to, and I have responsibility for Shannon because she's our goddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just rolling her eyes, but I've been calling this young lady Pinky since she was like 2 weeks old, and I'm the only one to get away with that. And I am the only one that is simply uncle. So I know where I am in the pecking order very well. So I understand why Shannon was getting annoyed last Saturday. But last Saturday was where this stuff was like, it was coming to a head. But then as it went on, like Rach was saying, I was sitting at this desk. I would get up in the middle of the night to take a pee. And I would have to take my phone with me to see who sent me messages that I have to get in touch with the moment I get up, and to see if did anything or are these messages important enough that I got to sit my ass on my computer for half an hour.
I mean, now that I'm retired, I'm just like, nothing's really that important. Nobody's suicidal. Nobody's homicidal. So
Yeah,
you know,
it's all good.
nobody wants to kill anybody. Nobody wants to hurt themselves or whatever, or that I can do anything about. So.
It's all out of my hands,
or that I'm responsible for.
So, all right, Gothridge Manor. Tim puts it very well. An open license is the engine. The SRD is the gas. All right. Is your drinky okay? Oh, Shannon. Yeah, tell it. You're drinky. Yes, we are basically drinking Grape Crush.
Diet and sugar free.
Sugar free, caffeine free. So this girl won't be running around like a.
Mine's really strong.
Well, you need strong rage because your stomach was going. And it's
still.
So I was like, all right, you need strong Grape Crush. Linux has done well under the GPL. Yes, an open license. It's done very well. There are many versions of Linux out there, some that are amazing. TXG, it did sound like bullshit initially. Shannon has heard worse from me as I drive, by the way.
She's like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shannon, when I give you driving lessons in about 4 years, I expect to hear.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the one.
I expect to hear all the proper language coming.
Your dad's going to be too nervous. Your mom's going to be too nervous.
Yeah, so it'll.
It's going to be on Uncle.
Yeah, it'll be you and I in the graveyard. So we can't kill anybody. It isn't already dead. So yeah, Wizards of the Coast. Listen, when they have their own employees, when they fire the president of Wizards of the Coast, who had been around for years, in November, it appears because from his public statements he was against this license. Yeah. Major E, I think this whole mess will end up making the OSR thrive even stronger than it already has. I think that is true. However, you are going to have creators, and it's going to affect people like, and if Joe's in here, he'll correct me. Joe Block, a little bit less, because Joe Block stuff is in PDF and print on demand. He's not going to be stuck with a lot of stock that could theoretically, I don't know, be unsellable or less sellable. But Jeff Talanian, Hyperborea.
I mean, they can do that. They can make it so that the stock that you have, you can't sell it. Like
that's exactly what happened with when Gary Gygax passed.
Yeah, I'd be up at the street fair going, yeah.
Gil Gygax.
You can get it real cheap.
Gil Gygax revoked the license that Gary had been producing Castle Zacking on. And I think he passed in
2007, 8?
2008 when so she gave a limited amount of time for them to sign it off. It might have been the end of the year, so maybe a couple of months, and then whatever stock he had left had to get trashed. So that can happen. And they were initially going to give it their leaked version of 2.0 is giving a 6-month grace period to sell off your projects that are under 1.0, but only if you sign up for 2.0. So you got to lock yourself into that contract. So there you go.
Have a big bonfire then.
Tom says he just opened an adult white grape crush.
Oh.
I guess that would be white wine. So, but I think the worst thing that you can do when you're in a situation with this uncertainty is to shut down. And I know people, I've communicated with people that are in that mindset kind of like, holy crap, it's out of my control. I can't do anything. Then again, I've spoken with people who are like, you know what? And Shannon, close your eyes. They're saying this to Wizards of the Coast, and they're giving them a big F you, and they're like, I'm not going to change what I'm doing, and let them come for me. And that says a lot. But when this is, I know so many people in this gaming community. They are friends of mine. I don't use that word loosely. I don't consider you, if you're a friend of mine on Facebook and we don't communicate, you're a friend. You're following me, whatever. We're following each other.
It's friendly, but not.
Right, we're friendly, but not
There's circles,
friends.
yeah.
Yeah, we're acquaintances. We know each other, maybe. But I have friends in the industry, people that I talk with, that producing material under the open game license is their occupation. This is how they support their family. Or this is their second job that allows their wife to stay home with a special needs child. Or this is what keeps them from being homeless because their regular income was going to make the cut. I also know people who, this is the job that pays 70 freelancers, whether they're artists or layout artists or writers, plus core people at the company, editors, and without this, they're affecting the lives of 70 people in a negative way. Without
not
being
just
able to
the tippy top of the iceberg.
So this is really it's impactful on many levels. And the worst thing you can do, if you're not involved in it, you don't have skin. Let's say you don't have skin in the game, right? I'm not going to school, so what affects Shannon doesn't affect me. That's bullshit, right, Shannon? Mm. It affects me because you're my niece, and
you're affected by it, so we're affected.
Right. But there are a couple of people in the OSR, and I'm not going to name names, going around going, "Oh, I got no skin in this game. I don't care if they all go under. It makes no difference to me. I'll keep playing my stuff from 1980 when I first bought it, and when my grandkids are as old as some of my gaming books, and I can keep on playing with my gaming books."
But this is sort of like, if you think of it, this whole thing with the WotC people is like, I don't know, some people feel like they're basically wanting to get rid of all the basement trolls.
Right.
And basement trolls being people that play like the tabletop traditionally, like not the pretty people, where they want to keep it like fluff, pop culture.
Right. We're not the ones.
We're not pop culture.
We're not the ones that are putting money into their till.
Yeah.
So get rid of them. I personally think it goes worse than that. I personally think. And now, Rach, there was an article on CNBC.
Right. So that brings back all that high school like hierarchy stuff, which is horrible. So I think like everybody's inner like basement troll is coming out and saying, hey, this is totally not appropriate. You can't change this up. And, this is our game too.
Yeah. So CNBC had an article today about this whole fiasco.
Oh, wow.
When CNBC,
big time.
When CNBC, a financial news network, starts talking about gaming, it's never for a good reason. Okay, we're never on it. It's because of the shit show that Wizards of the Coast just put investors through. All right, but Even one of the people that they interviewed felt that it could be that they're trying to salt the earth. They are trying to salt the earth, metaphorically. They're trying to salt the playing field to get rid of the third-party publishers in this down year. So then when next year hits, it's the 50th anniversary.
I think you said something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's not 2023, but 2024 is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, 2024, next year.
Okay.
It's going to be the 50th anniversary of the game, and they want to get rid of the undesirables, and that includes a lot of the players, and bring in people who are going to watch the movie. And by the way, Shannon, we were going to take you to see the D&D movie when it comes out in March. We might have to. We're not going to see it the opening weekend, and if we do see it in the theater, we're going to bring your ass with us.
Okay.
But if we don't see it in the theater, you'll watch it with us on like streaming, like Netflix or some crap like that.
Okay.
Right? We'll give you a whole.
Wherever they give it on our thing, because we have a lot of those.
I don't know yet, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe Paramount. Since Paramount's going to have.
Well, Paramount's going to have that series thing that they're
Yep.
pushing.
So, I mean,
Which is scary because
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like often when things go on Paramount, it's like, oh.
oh wait. Top Gun's on Paramount. We still haven't watched it yet.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We have to. So
But that wacky Star Trek thing, that newer Star Trek.
no,
thing
no,
with
sorry,
the
go
Picard
no.
and-
Let's not go into that. You're gonna crash
that
hard.
was on there.
They're
And I
gonna,
was like,
no,
oh.
no, Rachel, you can't. You're gonna
Is
make.
that where things go to die?
You're gonna make me rant. Don't do it. Don't do
Oh,
it.
okay.
But oh my God, now I just lost my whole train of thought. It's just derailing. Shannon, come on. Where was I?
I don't know.
Rachel, where was I?
Um,
There we go.
you were talking about you were saying about
Salt in the earth.
taking her. But,
Alright.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, before.
So before that,
We had to
even,
rewind.
we had to rewind.
There's
several
salt in the
bars.
earth. They're trying to remove oppositional players, meaning publishers, and the chaff, the underpayers. They want to reboot the whole thing next year with people playing on their MMO, like playing the tabletop RPGs on their VTT, kind of like an MMO with microtransactions and all this wonderful fun.
But they want to make it a soulless kind of fluff thing. Seems like.
Yep.
Soulless corporate, sell kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So now, Juan makes a good point.
What's that?
He had planned on buying the core 5 ebooks, and for one reason or another, he didn't have the money at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because it's OGL fiasco, he picked up the Pathfinder beginner box and the core rulebook.
Oh.
The Pathfinder, I don't play Pathfinder. The Pathfinder first edition beginner box is amazing. If you're going to start somebody out with an RPG and they haven't tried it ever before, you want to give them tchotchkes. You want to give them all the stuff that they can touch and feel and go, oh my God, that's amazing.
Right.
It's
Things that
amazing.
engage people.
And the second edition box is as good as the first edition box. So I got to say, not necessarily a game I would play, but I would play that. The full rules are a bit heavy for me, but that was certainly nice. What are my top 5 games to move to now? This is Frank. Moving away from 5e. Well, I'm going to say, I would love to say Continual Light, which is a full game, digest-sized in about 30 pages, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 30. It's too bright. But this can't come out as it is because this is an author's proof copy, which I was making numerous corrections on. And this is under the OGL, so I got to rewrite this. So this is still for sale in the original larger size cover. By the way, Shannon was inspirational for this cover since the artist in question, Ms. Shields, Jeff Shields, not Jeff, James Shields.
James. Yeah.
James did an amazing job on this, but he did this, and Shannon got to watch him do it via live stream.
Oh, yeah.
So, because Shannon, with the first cover I had from James from years ago, was Uncle Auntie. She holds it up, and she was about 5, 6. This cover sells. And she was right. It's a very simplified system, only takes you to 7th level, but if you know D&D, it's built on the Swords and Wizardry rules. It's built up from the Swords and Wizardry Light rules, which are 4 pages, 3 levels. It's pretty good. Beyond that, let's see. Old School Essentials, amazing, beautiful books, beautiful PDFs, easy to read, bullet points, great support. I can't say enough about it. Hyperborea, beautiful setting material, beautiful classes. Jeff does a great job. The rules are a little crunchier than the rest of the ones I've been mentioning, but they are amazing. They're built off of like AD&D 1A, but goes way beyond. The setting again is sweet. That's 3 thus far. I'm trying to think what. Words Without Number from was it Jeremy Crawford. It doesn't use the OGL, but it's certainly D&D. It works great if you're working as a sandbox. It's just nice to see how somebody can write a game like that. Starts with a number for science fiction. He's got genre books for standalone for pretty much any genre you can think of. And number five, I would say right now, okay, and you can go to my prior videos if you want to support. There are links to Call of Cthulhu, RuneQuest, and basic role playing. This is all Chaosium. It's all the same basic system. These are all 99 cents for the basic role playing core book in PDF, and the Call of Cthulhu starter set and the RuneQuest starter set. Amazing values, amazing stuff. I'd like to get Rach to play through with the solo adventure and the Call of Cthulhu. I think we'll have a lot of fun. I'd have Shannon do that, but then if her parents keep telling me she's had nightmares because of it, it'll be all Uncle's fault, and I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm so curious about a game where like madness is a consequence of your play.
Yeah. So, and there's more. Okay, those are things off the top of my head. There are a lot of other great choices, but those are the ones I can think of that I'd be happy to sit down and play at a moment's notice. TXG, it should affect you if you have an ounce of empathy, but even if you don't consider all the materials produced for D&D. Yeah, and that is it. But there are people that I'm gonna say used to respect in our community who are like, screw this. They should have known writing under the OGL was a ticking time bomb for 22 years. That's not a ticking time bomb. That's a rules lawyer finding a hole in a rule that was never intended to be there and going, I got you. That's not a ticking time bomb. Okay.
Well, that's another soulless person that lacks empathy.
All right. So Mr. Gunn's choices are Old School Essentials, Index Card RPG, Easy D6, BX, but BX is again Old School Essentials, Deathbringer. Actually, Deathbringer's not bad. Yeah, and actually, I said there's a lot of choices. They really are. Tom, even if you have already bought the rules and write your own modules, you still benefit from the ancillary products that only exist because of the healthy market. Vinyl battle maps, high impact dice. Shannon's gotten dice for me because dice are always fun. And she has
glow in the dark. Not glow in the dark.
Yeah, she does.
She does have that, but there's some that light up.
Yeah. Did you get your light up dice?
Yeah.
Okay. You know.
That you charge it in the computer.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have those. I'll lose my temper.
I can't get it to light properly. One, I hope you enjoy it, man. I said the Pathfinder Beginner Box is a great way to start people out, whether it's for first edition or second edition. It's very well presented, well written, and it's packed. Packed, I tell you. I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Mr. Gunn, I haven't watched Lower Decks yet, so I couldn't tell you. I just and I say Strange Front. Oh God, the Strange Frontiers or whatever it was. That was the first season of the new Star Trek series was pretty good. That was on Paramount.
I don't know that I saw it.
You saw that with me.
Which one?
The one with young Spock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yes. And the cast was good. Like they had Uhura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John David, happy Saturday to you and yours, Eric. Thank you for joining us. We do this every Saturday. It's very informal. A lot of what we do is we respond back toward the comments and questions from our audience. Like I said, we were lucky enough to have Shannon.
Yeah.
Shannon's just like, I want more food because I am Uncle, can't you see I'm wasting away here? You only took me to a buffet earlier in the afternoon where I could stuff my face. At the age of 12, these kids eat, and then 2 hours later, doesn't matter how much they ate. It's like, Uncle,
You're gonna be hungry again?
Yeah.
Feed me, Seymour. Dungeon Crawl Classics, another good choice. I believe there's Dungeon Crawl Classics Lite, which might be an easier way to get introduced to the system. It's a huge book. It's mostly charts and tables. Don't get me wrong, but it's intimidating. But I love the funnels. The funnels are some of the best things to run and play in. The list could keep on going. John's like, yeah, DCC, Swords and Wizardry, Old School Essentials, Hyperborea. Again, there are ones that come up on everybody's list. Old School Essentials is probably going to be one of them. Just to be honest. Basic Fantasy RPG, it's free. It plays pretty well. Its books are at cost on Amazon. You can buy them on Amazon. They are great. The adventures and setting material are just great reference material, whether you're using Basic Fantasy or not. That's another system that they're going to be rewriting the rules for to get away from the OGL. Major E, top 3. Hyperborea, again. Dungeon Crawl Classics, Old School Essentials. Old School Essentials, man. That is it. That is it. Kids on Bikes. Now, Kids on Bikes, what do you think that might be based on? What on-demand show that we watched a couple of seasons of often showed you kids on bikes?
Oh, the Stranger Things.
Yes.
That's great.
And of
it
course,
is true, and it's very 80s.
Yes.
Right? No matter who you were, you were always taking off on your bike to like go to your friend's house or, with your friends going off somewhere.
Do you know how much gas costs? You can see it now. Has anyone played the one produced by Reaper Miniatures? No, I haven't. But if you have D&D books, why quit? The issues with D&D is not Wizards of the Coast. It's Wizards of the Coast and the CEOs. I'm not saying quit playing D&D. I'm just saying quit supporting the company. You don't need to buy any more D&D material. You can create all your own or use third-party products. I'm not saying you got to quit it. I don't think anybody's saying that. Well, some people are. You play what makes you have fun. There's no such thing as bad, wrong fun. If Shannon has fun jumping on the bed, well, that can be bad, wrong fun because you could break the bed or break her
your
neck.
nose.
Yeah, we don't want you jumping on the bed. That could be bad, wrong, but a lot of fun. All right, but like if she says, "Oh, I want to play Clue instead of Monopoly," is that bad, wrong, fun?
No.
I don't like Clue, Shannon. I don't like knowing it. Scarlet with the candle
in the library.
With the broken neck. I don't need to know this crap. But for other people, it's a great game. Some people like playing Scrabble. I own Scrabble. I don't think I played it in 30 years. So,
yeah, I'd say it's probably the same for me at least.
Climbing that mountain. Now that it's come out that Wizards of the Coast execs feel contempt for the many players. Guys like Jeremy Crawford need to quit or lose their good reputation. I don't think they can. There's no good reputation left. So let's just leave it at that. Quitting isn't going to help. Make me feel better. It's not going to help the reputation. In corporate world, people don't fall on the sword. People are, however, thrown out of windows.
No.
Figuratively. making sure the algorithm doesn't freak out. Figuratively, but they are sacrificed. They are sacrificed, but nobody willingly takes that sacrifice. Nobody goes, oh, for the good of the community and the good of to make Shannon happy because I am going to quit my job and become a hermit in the Pocono Mountains, and you'll never see me talk about gaming again. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Call of Cthulhu meets a Catholic school.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Shannon could do that.
Yeah.
Shannon, the school is haunted. Dun, dun. It's haunted by a dead nun.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought all the nuns were gonna be driven mad.
Oh, or that. Or it's haunted by a student that passed.
Yes. I like that.
She was driven insane by religious instruction. She was like, I can't handle.
She was told to kneel, then stand, kneel, then stand too many times.
And you
That's what I'm talking about.
You hear the you hear the kneeler come down and go up.
Oh no, we left our thing out. Like that Friday night craziness before Easter. He didn't know about it because like I was in religious instruction and he didn't know like what happens Friday night for Easter and where you had to kiss Jesus' feet on the cross.
That's obviously before COVID.
Yeah, it was definitely before COVID. But yeah, it was pretty wild, man. Because they were like, kneel, everybody stand, everybody kneel. And then we're up and down and up and down. I'm like, wow, my quads are starting to hurt.
Yeah,
and we left our kneeler out because we knew we were going to be up and down, up and down. Like, if it's anything like what we just went through, we better leave this out.
Oh, God. I like Tom. Feast of Saint Cthulhu.
Nice. I like that.
I like that. The execs at Wizards of the Coast have no understanding of the products or the culture that made D&D what it is. You're right. Tenkar's Tavern. I enjoyed Tulsa King. I'm not even sure what that is.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's one of the streaming series. Strange New World. Thank you there, Tom. I know. Wow. I'm like 7 minutes behind in the chat. Oh my God. DCC, MCC, Swords of Wizardry. Yeah. Or Stars Without Number. Or is SW Savage Worlds. Savage Worlds. There we go. John. Shannon doesn't know her uncle is tabletop RPG royalty.
I don't even know what that is.
All right. So
in this thing, he's royalty. In this gaming
community.
Yeah.
I don't wear a crown.
Everybody's like,
no, they're not. No, they're not. The only person I want to be royalty to, besides my wife, is my niece. So kiss my feet, God damn it. No? She's like, Uncle, I've smelled your feet. I'm not getting anywhere close to them.
Your feet.
Oh.
Scary.
Oh. See, it isn't. It runs in the family. You think I'm a smartass? You think I'm the one? You should see this one. DCC Light is pretty easy to learn. Yes, it is. Frank, if you like high crunch and realism, you can do Hornmaster. That is Horn supplements. Amazing. Hornmaster. Maybe
it's Harn with an N?
Harn, yes. Harn is the name of the setting.
That's the world.
Right? Yeah, Hornmaster if you think that a Roll Master or a Chart Master is too light for you. So, Fantasy Trip, very good choice. GURPS, a little wordy, but the source books are great. Swords and Wizardry. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were talking.
You're down with the GURPS, though, right?
I'm down with the GURPS.
I've heard you talk about the GURPS a lot.
I talk about the GURPS. You talk about the GURPS. I talk about the GURPS. If you need reference material that is like easy to read because it's been well researched for anything, you could use some GURPS setting material or research material for like term papers. I probably should have back in the day. It would have made
really?
Oh yeah. They were really well researched, and they're indexed. You can go, oh look, I know what they use for their research. So,
That's really cool.
Oh, question for Shannon.
Yay!
This is from Don, Wizard Tower Games. What is your favorite board game? And do you have a favorite RPG?
Not RPG, but I like Monopoly.
And she likes Monopoly because she wants to be
The richest,
she
most
wants.
ruthless individual.
Yes.
She's all like, rich people suck.
Give all your
Yeah, how do
property
we-
to me.
I just want to be Ma.
Oh.
So Ma is actually it's grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm so used to that. It didn't dawn on me to explain.
Mr. Gunn. Yeah, in Russia, people actually do get tossed from windows. That is true. A lot of Russian oligarchs apparently have been misstepping recently.
Very clumsy on the window ledges.
Yeah, it's like, do you know what I think I should do tonight?
I need a little fresh air.
Dimitri, I want you to help clean my feet, and then I want to dry them over the window ledge. And when I'm doing that, Dimitri, do me a favor, right? Just come up behind my head and pat my head real hard to make sure I can get a good, because my feet will dry so nicely. Oh shit! I'm falling off window ledge. How did that such happen? Hunter School, Ghost from the Past. Oliver North fell on his sword. Yeah, but he also got like he wasn't. First off, he wasn't in private industry, and secondly, he knew going in he was going to be falling on his sword.
Yes,
okay,
that's true.
So, and we're not going to get in. I remember the hearings on this stuff when I was I was 18 and working at my local parish school, painting classrooms, and I would bring my radio with me, and it was like I was listening to the hearings on the on Bush Senior. So,
yeah, I was 14 and babysitting. I was like, yeah, we'll put He-Man on after the hearings.
So I was like, yeah. No. Starts without SWN starts without number. Again, that's the core system for Words Without Number, Scarlet Heroes. There's a few other rule sets. One that is like a Call of Cthulhu type of deal.
So
Silent Legions. There we go. I have them all. They're really good. He wore his Minion shirt yesterday. I gotta get Shannon a Minion shirt. She could wear that to school. People would be like,
No.
I'm a Tenkar's minion.
I'm a minion.
I am Tenkara.
Tenkar the minion.
We need to get so Shannon. Don, my friend Don from Wizard Tower Games, is designing a board game.
D20 Delving, yeah.
And it's a board game. It's a fantasy board game. And when you go into certain rooms, you get certain cards. You take your phone and you scan the card, and then you hear voices.
wow.
We have one of the old timers in the community read the card out to you.
That's cool.
All right, we have
And then that's really cool. It's like inclusive of the blind too.
Yeah, no, that is true. And Tim Kask is the one that's doing the readings.
Did you get him the name? We had him as a guest on the show. I'm not remembering the name right now. He worked with a blind school.
I'd have to go back. And
we'd have to get it for him so that they could get
it. Shannon loves Monopoly. She will love New York. She will own New York and build Tenkar's Tower. Sorry,
Tenkar's Tower.
All right, yeah, like Trump.
Is it gonna have gold toilets?
Yeah.
Woo!
Gold toilets. Doesn't that get cold? Can I have a heated gold toilet?
I like that even better.
Can I have a platinum toilet? Because platinum is worth more in D&D.
Oh, okay.
I want platinum. I don't want Electrum. Electrum is weird. At tabletop taproom minions, banana. Tabletop Tap Room, Yakov Smirnov.
Yakov Smirnov. Smirnov.
Climbing that mountain, defenestration. Actually means the act of throwing someone out of a window. Well, I don't know for sure if all of these.
They have a word for this.
Yeah.
To make it simpler.
Yes. Well, so when you throw somebody out of a window, it's defenestration. Put that properly in your report. I'll tell you right now, if I was a cop, I'd be going, thrown out of window.
Patient defenestration.
So, with the Tower Games, Shannon just endorsed. Tabletop Tap Room. Shannon just endorsed Don's game.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we maybe can get a blurb from Shannon. This game rocks.
Yeah.
This cover sells. You should copyright that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. No?
Yeah.
All right. She's like, yeah. So, I told you, we go off in the weeds, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We are in here for just over an hour. I know that the other live streams. By the way, folks, if you were watching yesterday's live stream, we tapped out at about 2 hours and 15 minutes. The after show talk, I dropped out the after show talk at around 10:45. It was still going on at 11:30. I just left my window open so they could keep talking. This is how important the events in this community are at this moment. And this is why it's important to be heard. There's this whole thing, and I'll be the first person to say it. I live in New York State. We know every year how your district's going to vote, how the state's going to vote whenever election.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you vote red or blue doesn't make a difference. One vote isn't going to sway anything. But you know what? When it comes to a situation like this, your voice added to everybody else's voice makes a difference, makes a change. Who the hell thought that Wizards of the Coast was going to blink? Now, we don't know how much they really blinked because, like I said,
we haven't seen the.
We haven't seen.
Yet.
We've seen bits of
yet.
The bits and pieces that we've seen of 2.0 thus far, and the facts of 2.0 thus far, doesn't reflect the bullshit that they spoke about yesterday. Okay, so take that into account. We don't have it until we have it. Don't take their word until they've actually put their word into a contract that is our license that is legit. All right, they are in.
Yeah, keep doing anything you can to put them over a barrel.
Yeah, they are in.
Keep them over the barrel until we see what they're coming to the table to offer.
Keep them on defense.
Yeah,
keep them on defense. Only way you can do that is stay on target. So I think we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody who's in the live stream. You guys were all great.
Thank you.
If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, but I know if you're chatting, I know you're subscribed because that's how we keep out the porn spammers, and and I'm surprised kind of because I shouldn't be. I guess they're sleeping off yesterday's binge. I thought we were going to have a repeat of our favorite troll Mario, but we were prepared, by the way. Don.
Yeah.
Don. Tom.
I'm sort of disappointed.
Tom. We had a spelling bee ready to go.
Yeah.
And it was all going to be legal words.
So fun.
And we're going to go, Shannon. Spell Sue.
S-U-E.
Shannon, spell sued.
S-U-E-D.
Shannon, spell law.
L-A-W.
Spell suit.
S-U-I-T.
So how do you think you spell lawsuit?
L-A-W-S-U-I-T.
We had all this stuff planned. And
we were so excited to challenge a spelling bee.
Yes.
But it never came to fruition. So we do try for you, but
the 12-year-old versus the 52-year-old.
The trolls don't always cooperate. You just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, so we were ready for it. Shannon was ready for it.
Yep.
And
I'm glad we got to show you anyway.
Yes. So huge thank you to everybody. Listen, this channel is seeing amazing growth. That is in large part due to our long-term loyal viewers and subscribers. Thank you. To our recent subscribers, our recent viewers, another huge thank you. Really, I've been on top of this stuff because it's important. And one thing you'll know from me, and I don't hold back. I call shit as I see it, and don't tell me that Don't tell me just because you wrap shit up in nice little wrapping paper that it's now a gift. All right, it's still shit. I will call you on it. And as a side note, I'm making an observation. Gareth Skarka, Far West. What are you going to do now with no OGL? You were going to go Open D6, but Open D6 uses the
Oh,
same
he got
OGL.
bailed out by that.
Yeah, he's going to be like, I need a new system. I'm going to write it now for Savage Worlds, and then I'm going to punch Tenkar in the throat. So there we go, folks. That's your Far West update. I think we throw that one in. The troll is not smarter than a 12-year-old.
No, absolutely not.
No, although this is a 12-year-old that's going to go on to do things. Shannon is not going to be a tattoo artist.
6th grade.
Nothing against that.
New York public and parochial Catholic school.
She does it all. She's
Yeah.
well-rounded, and she can punch because Uncle taught her to.
Yep.
Only problem is she only punches one person. Uncle. There.
Chris is here.
Oh,
Yeah, you do it to Chris.
All right,
You
yeah.
don't do Casey.
No.
All right, she'll also punch my son. Oh, thank God he's younger. All right. Done. Thank you. Everybody, thank you. And if you're a football fan, this is the weekend, right? Of a lot of games, including Monday night. I think tomorrow I'll be in a football coma.
Yeah, a marathon.
So, and I'll still get videos up. All right, folks. God bless. Yes, lawsuit. Oh my God. Lawsuit. LAWSUDE. Thank you, CTM. That is. Although actually, like I said, we're going to need a T-shirt at some point for Rach. The Sue Dudette.
We'll see.
Well, yes. God bless.